What drew each of you to your field of work or study?
Was it the money, Helen?
It was for love. Yeah, I was editor of my high school newspaper. I mean, this is something I've always wanted to do. In college, I was part of a trio of students who, when we founded an underground newspaper using student activities money, which really blew the socks off the standard campus paper, and that caused a huge shakeup. And I'm endlessly fascinated. I have this curiosity about the world around me and the people that I meet, and wanting to understand why things have evolved the way they have and who are the players. And I just, I've been fortunate throughout my career that I have done everything, including dabbled in sports writing. Not very good at it, but I found a novel way of writing about golf by getting the landscape designers at the golf courses I was sent to go out in those caddies and drive me around and talk about the design of the course, and then I sort of wrote it that way. And that's about as close as I've ever come to doing any sports writing. But I've done everything else. I've done business writing, and I've covered local politics, and I've done a lot of feature stories, and I was a travel writer for the Boston Herald for 6 years. And I've done a tremendous amount of freelance, and I find that the field that I want to practice, I'm finding that I'm doing it now in nonfiction books, and I'm working on my 8th one, which will be out next year, and that has a certain level of satisfaction, and that the daily journalism, the way it's currently practiced here in New Jersey, doesn't give me. So, and I really enjoy teaching here.
That's a lot more interesting than my story. I wish I could say that I had an insatiable desire to be a communicator. The fact is, I had an insatiable desire to pay the rent, and that's how I really got into the field. I started out in business. I was actually a salesman selling office machines, and I found myself in the home office of the company one evening, and the vice president of marketing came by. It's a true story. But let me cut back to when I was a kid. I was always a reader. I liked to write. I liked words. I spoke a couple languages when I was a kid, and I really, really enjoyed language and words. So anyway, cutting back to the vice president of marketing coming by my office, he said, I have to give a speech tomorrow, and I haven't written anything. I said, what's the subject of your speech? And he told me, and I wrote his speech for him that night. I stayed there half the night, had it on his desk in the morning. He used the speech. Next day, I was in the public relations department, and that was 1968. So I've been in public relations for a long time. I know I'm older than dirt.
Right. This is the summer of love.
Yes. I missed it, I'm afraid. But anyway, I wrote everything I could. I did press releases and newsletters and got into investor relations. I did advertising. I did public policy. I did employee communication, all the facets of public relations. And I can't imagine having done anything else.